What's going on, people, and welcome to Man Knows Football. You are here with Guni and T Dot. It's been a minute, my brother. How you doing, fam?
Yo, I'm good, man. Pleasure being back on. Obviously, man knows football. Yeah, man. Happy, smiling, innit? Man's happy still.
Yeah, trust me, man. Everything is starting to roll smooth now, even on the channel side. I've got up to date with the whole editing stuff because I was
Mm.
struggling with that. Because we did film a lot of content, but I struggled to put it out in time because I didn't know what I was doing with the editing. But here we are, and yeah, more importantly, with the football, man, Chelsea. Oi, from the last time you've been on this channel, we still had Lampard in charge. And
Has it
now
been that
we're all
long?
talking about, yeah. Well, to actually have something actually on the channel that I've
Yeah,
posted
yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But like now we're all talking about Champions League semi-finals and maybe even winning it and them thing there.
You know what? I think we've got every chance. You know what I mean? Like, who's left now? We're gonna obviously play Real Madrid or Liverpool. Whoever wins, then yeah, you look at maybe Dortmund, City, them two. But for me, you play who you're up against. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter who you're up against. You could be up against the PSG that were they look brilliant last night, by the way. But you could be up against them and Neymar and Mbappe. But yeah, man, we just got to go into every game with the belief that we can win and we can progress as well.
No, 100%. What I will say is that the most difficult team have been knocked out of the competition by Munich. So um, they were really the only team that I had a problem with that I was worried about facing. As good as PSG were last night, I'm still not afraid to face them because I've got so much faith in this manager. And I think the advantage in being that Tuchel was with them for so long. And on top of that, we took their long-standing captain, who is now our centre back. So there's a lot of advantages to that, but that's also assuming that we go through because it's either Liverpool or Real Madrid, who we both know they're no mugs. Do you know what I mean? But even with them, I don't care. I just don't care. Whoever you bring to us, I reckon we're gonna do the job.
You know what? I think Liverpool's probably the more easier. We know how they play. We could go to Anfield and get a ting from them because they've been playing awful at Anfield as well.
Hold on. But this is what I will say though, bruv, is Liverpool are a different beast on European nights, bruv, and cup competitions. That's the
I'd
thing.
agree. Nah, I'd agree when they got fans there,
Mm,
but they ain't got no fans there.
facts,
Do you get what I'm
facts.
saying? They need the fans at them. Them European nights are made up because of the fans being there. Without the
Hundred
fans,
percent, hundred
in
percent.
fact, we'll see tonight actually, won't it? Because I think they're playing at Anfield tonight as well. But they need the fans, man. That's why they've been poor at home this season. They need the 12th man, and the 12th man is in the stands, row B. You get me? Seat 64. That's their 12th man. They haven't had that this season.
No,
So,
100%,
but
hundred
look,
percent.
neither team will be a pushover. Neither of them. They're both good teams. Obviously, we know about Liverpool already, but Real Madrid are beatable, man. They're beatable.
Yeah, and I certainly say with Liverpool because what is it? They're 3-1 down, right, on aggregate
Three
currently.
one,
Now
three one.
you see, for any other team, I would have said, yeah, done and dusted. But for Liverpool, you can never say never with them. But what I will say is though, that centre back pairing is hurting them. Kabak and Nico Williams.
Yeah, yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Is like with Van Dyke, it's a different story. With Gomez and Matip, it's a different story. With them two as the centre back pairing, I don't really see him getting past Real Madrid to tell you the truth. So I'm just going to assume from this point that Real Madrid will be our next opponents.
Yeah, I'd have to agree, man. I'd have to agree. I think the only good thing that they've got going for them in terms of Liverpool is they've got Diego Jota back now, and he's the one that looks more likely to score for them
one Hundred
out of
percent.
them front three. Do you know what I mean? And I'm still shocked that Wolves sold him. They should have kept him the way they're playing this season. But yeah, he's the one that I think well, I think he's injury free now, so yeah, he should be the one that I think will score. But I can't see them scoring. They've got to score 3 goals in it.
Yeah, yeah. So it was no Real Madrid were at home the first leg, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
So
they're Anfield.
because you know what it is that's confusing me is that some teams are not even playing in their stadium. So like for
Yeah, it
us,
was.
do you know what I'm saying? So that's why my brain's kind of fried. And on top of that, the celebrations last night, fam. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, even if Real Madrid go through, um, I don't really think they're not the Real Madrid of 2 or 3 years ago, are they? Do you know what I mean? There's still quality players in there. I'll never say Cruz and Modric and these guys are past it. Them man, they can ball. They
Mm.
showed us that against Liverpool. They tore them apart. But I do think with the way we're structured, especially with the back five, with that extra bit of protection, I'm worried about that, bro. Because like the potency up top, the only one I'm really worried about up top is Benzi.
Yeah, yeah, we know what he can do, man. We know what he can do, and the way we played against, and I know Porto had their key players missing in the first leg,
Mhm.
but even last night, the way that we dealt with a lot of that, because they were coming for us, bro. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They weren't messing around last night,
Even in the
and
first leg, they weren't messing about.
yeah, exactly, and that's when they had players missing as well.
Mhm.
So yeah, I think the only thing with Tuchel is he doesn't know, and this isn't a criticism of him actually, but he doesn't know his best 11, so he's still swapping and changing around a little bit. And
Mhm.
I think the defense, you can't really do that too tough. To get what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Thiago Silva, them kind of games like last night, they're made for him. The West Brom game, I would have left him out, but that's another story.
100%.
But these kind of big European nights, Thiago Silva, the experience of him being there, Reece James at the right back as well, even Chilwell in the first leg, even last night, he was laying him on the plate for Mason Mount. Like we need that kind of solid back five, back three, whatever you want to call it. We need that. Whoever we
Yeah.
get, it doesn't even matter whether it's Liverpool or Real Madrid because they're still going to cause us the same problems. Do you get what I mean?
100%. And just as you mentioned, Chilwell, like just our fullbacks, Reece James and Chilwell in both legs, they were absolutely fantastic. And I
Mm,
think like obviously because there was good all round performances and one or two stole the show, and particularly Mason Mount. So a lot of the talk was about him in the first leg. But I do feel that Reece James and Chilwell were key to us going through, both attacking wise and defensively. They didn't really put in a foot wrong. I mean, the goal that was conceded yesterday, right? There's nothing you can do about that goal. That was a special goal. Do you know what I
mm.
mean? So for that and the time that had gone was that well they've got less than like 2 minutes to get an equalizer, so it was calm. Do you know what I mean? But fullbacks, Reece James and Chilwell in particular, fantastic. And if they can carry that form going into this competition, bro,
Mm.
we're gonna be tough to beat because behind them there's Aspi, there's Rudiger, and there's Thiago Silva. And in both legs again, they've played out this. Obviously, Thiago Silva didn't play the last one,
Mm.
but in but defensively, we've been fantastic. The West Brom game, that um Roman said something interesting. He was like, that really was just a wake-up call. It was to be expected. After the internationals, Thiago's back after God knows how many weeks. And maybe the mentality of beating West Brom because they're already a finished side, we had a bit of complacency going into that game. And
Mm.
that's what can happen. It doesn't matter what kind of form that you're in. Once complacency sits in and a little bit of rust sits in, and the other team are up to scalp another team, then these things can happen. So really, that one we can let go. But like just going forward, I don't really see anybody penetrating that except maybe Neymar and Mbappe. But even with that, I reckon Tuchel's got a plan for them, one
Yeah,
hundred percent.
100%, man, 100%. Because I've watched them in the French league as well. They're beatable, man. They're beatable. Some of the teams that they're losing against or they're dropping points to, they should be beating them easy, calm, and they're not doing that.
Mhm.
And there's not, and we're a better team than all of them French teams. There, all of them, we're better than them, easy. Obviously, apart from your PSG, but even that's a debatable one. Do you know what I'm saying? Obviously, not the front three, but debatable. But even
Defensively, they're poor.
exactly as I'm saying, and yeah, we could on a good day we could match them. That's not even an issue for me. But I thought it was good to see Kai Havertz in that kind of false nine again.
Mhm.
I think that worked. I
I
think
don't think he's the answer, though. I will say
no,
that.
no, no. He's not the answer. He's not the answer. But I think Vernon needed that rest. He hasn't played the 2 games now, has he? He didn't play Palace and he didn't play last night either.
Mhm, mhm.
So I think he needs that rest, man, because he literally hasn't stopped playing for us since the Brighton pre-season game.
Yeah,
Literally,
it's
do you
been
get what I'm saying?
non-stop for him. Yeah.
And he hasn't had us. I don't think he's had that many games where he's missed it for us anyway. But he needed that break, and it's working with the thing with Pulisic, right? I like him. I can't even flip in say anything bad about him. But sometimes I just think like just let go of the ball a little bit, man. Pass the ball.
Yeah,
Do you get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Don't run because you see with him, defenders are onto him now. They just chop him down. They don't let him. The same thing used to happen to Hazard and Messi and them, man. Do you know what I mean? Like when you're quick with the ball, which is good. That's a good trait to have, yeah. But you see, defenders are not waiting around to see what you're gonna do with it. They're just gonna
nah.
chop you down. How many times did he get fouled yesterday? It was mad. Like,
Yeah, bro.
do you know what I
Trust
mean?
me. Yeah, that's it. The ref should have given him a lot more protection. He weren't really getting his cards out either. Do you know what I mean? It was really in the second half is when he started to get involved with the cards, but they was chopping him out, man.
Mm.
Like it was, but then you see why like this guy gets so many injuries.
Yeah,
You see
yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's what's building up to as well. Because they're all them injuries. They're all like muscular ones as well, innit? They're all like muscular injuries, and that's just down to impact as well. A
Yeah,
lot of that be down to
exactly.
the impact as well. But I thought Jorginho played all right yesterday. I thought he had another good game. And Golo Kante first half flipping out. Like I don't know, he must have touched every bit of that flipping pitch. He was everywhere first
It's
half.
insane. Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
insane, Pante. Um, Kai Havertz. Let's go back to Kai Havertz and Timo Werner because the previous game before this, Kai's first half was absolutely supreme stuff.
Hmm.
Just world class football, and we just thought, yeah, okay, Kai's now stepping into his element. Do you think Tuchel has handled him well, has managed him well? Do you think that's down to his management?
100%, 100%. You see what he could have done. He could have played him in all these games because he hasn't really started for Tuchel, has he? He hasn't really been starting. So I think he's obviously been putting in the work in training, especially after the Crystal Palace game. You couldn't leave him out as well. Do
Mhm.
you get what I'm saying? Like he was playing like flipping, I don't know, man, like a prime Dennis Bergkamp, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Where he
the
took the ball out of the air.
confidence, oh, the
Yeah, man.
confidence was just oozing. And you
Yeah,
can see that Kai is a confidence player. You see, once he susses a game, you see, once he clocks early and he reads the situation and he says, yeah, this is my game. There's no stopping him.
everything clicked with him. Everything's
Yeah,
clicked for some weird reason. The last two games, everything's just clicked, and even his movement, all of that kind of stuff, the things that you don't really, unless like yourself or someone who knows about the game, you notice them little things. Do you get what I'm
yeah,
saying? And he's all of that is coming into form now. And I've been listen, I've been saying this from the day we got him that he's got to start doing this, and he's doing it now, which is good. So he needs to go out, go away, come back next season, and carry that on. Because I agree. I don't think he's the answer, but I think he's got a big role to play. Do you know what I mean at Chelsea now?
yeah.
So we'll see that.
And obviously, Kai not being the answer, do you think in the next round Giroud deserves a chance?
It's a tough one, man. It's a tough
because
one.
because personally, before I let you answer that personally, right, and a lot of people might not agree with me, I'm gunning for Giroud to be our starting striker from this going forward in the competition now.
He's
I am.
proven, man. He's proven at this level. Do you know what I mean? He's proven even at the was it against Atletico?
Mhm.
You know what I mean? He's proven even in last the Europa as well, last time round.
Yeah,
He's proven that he can do it on the big stages when it matters. Do you know what I mean as well? So I don't see why not. I don't think going forward in the long term that he's probably the answer. Do you get what I mean? But I
no,
think
definitely not,
for this
definitely not.
season, against like a Real Madrid, I don't see why not. He's got to play a part, whether he starts or he comes on and does what he done. What time? I can't remember when he came on yesterday. It's quite late into the game, and I was drunk by that time. But I think it was quite late on that he came on. But he's still got a part to play this season. He's still got a part to play, especially if we
Yeah,
get to the
huge part.
final as well. Yeah, we need him. We need him, man.
Isn't he like our top scoring player in in Europe? Like
Yeah,
since
that's
he
what I'm
joined.
saying. That's what he's got to be because he's all the got goals that even when you go back to like the group stages, knockouts, all of that as well. He's got to be, man. He's got to be. If
Yeah.
he's not, he's up there.
No, Giroud for me is our most clinical striker.
Yeah,
He is.
man.
The only thing that's really against him is two things: is his pace and his age. That's
Mm.
it. But Giroud, but him, I would love to see him start because, um, especially regardless of which defense we face, particularly Real Madrid or Liverpool, I reckon he's the perfect striker for them to just disrupt their two centre backs because Giroud knows how to do that well. And then obviously allow the other players to run off that and feed off that and open up for the space because we've got Kai Havertz, like we said, whose movement is fantastic. When Vern is fit, you know his movement is fantastic.
Mm.
Pulisic, his movement is fantastic. The only thing that annoys me about Pulisic is his lack of consistency in front of goal. I can never say with him that if he's through one on one, right, hand on heart, that it's going in. I
He had,
can't say it
he had
confidently.
two chances yesterday, innit? I'm sure there was one when Chilwell put him in, and I think it was Ziyech for the other one outside of the foot pass, and he fumbled both of them. So
That's what
yeah,
I
I
mean.
agree, man. I agree. I think he's got a lot to learn about his game. Do you get what I'm saying? And I think the thing with him, and I'm not saying it's shit at all. I'm not saying that, but I think he's been put on his kind of like Hazard pedestal already. Do you get what I'm
Mm.
saying? I'm not saying that he can't get to them levels and that height because he can 100%, but there's still parts of his game that I think playing at Chelsea he's got to learn, and he's got to learn quick about it. The English league as well, the way that it works, shit like that is like he goes down too much, man. Like for me, he's a player that goes down to, and rightfully so. But listen, sometimes you got to stay on your feet and find and develop that part of your game. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
100%. All right, let me ask you a question. If a bid came in for Pulisic this summer, would you take it? But let's say 60 million bid came in for it. Would you take it?
How much are we getting for?
72, I think.
Nah, I wouldn't take it then.
All right. So what
We
if
don't take
okay,
we don't take
so
L's, man.
no, we don't. No, we don't. But what if now? What if now Dortmund was to say, all right, cool. You guys are gonna take Haaland, that's blessed. What we can do for you is if you want Sancho, we'll take 60 million in exchange and you gotta add the top for Sancho. Would you take it then?
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I would, 100%. Now,
Possibly
the
then,
only
yeah.
reason why, the only reason why I wouldn't be upset of seeing Pooley, it's a very ruthless reason, but this is football. It's his injury record concerns me
Yeah,
way
man.
too much.
Because he had
That's
he
it.
had a bad injury. Like he was constantly injured at Dortmund as well. I think
Yeah,
he had some long term injuries there, and he's just one of them players. I think that throughout his career, he's always gonna have that issue. Do you know what I'm saying? And we can't afford to carry people next season. I was saying this to someone else. We can't afford all them low knees that we've got. Danny Drinkwaters and Ross Barkley's, all of these other players, and even Victor Moses is still there. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
They've Some of these players have got to move on now.
yeah. They're
Whether
done out here, cuz.
Yeah, whether you're playing in the team now like a Pulisic or you're on loan somewhere, if you're not part of the team like the program, you gotta move on because money is money. Do you know what I mean? You're on a wage bill. If we're gonna sign like a Haaland or someone like that, that kind of money is gonna help bring someone in, or even like a Jadon Sancho. It's gonna help bring that player in.
I think well, the two signings that are sticking, right? And there's heavy truth to them both. Haaland obviously being the obvious one. But the one that's obviously going under the radar a bit because of the nature of Haaland's stature and they play in a similar position is Sergio Aguero. Because
Mm.
now, yeah, because now, like I was paying a little bit of attention to it, but now I believe it was Matt Law or somebody like that. It might not be him, but someone of that stature was saying that Chelsea have actually opened talks to see if Aguero is interested to join the club.
But he's always been like a he's always admired the club. Do you know what I mean? From a distance when he was at City, he's always come out and said that like on a personal level. So that wouldn't surprise me. My only worry about that is we've already got like an Olivier Giroud.
But
Do you know what I mean?
that means he's going. I would assume that if Aguero does
Yeah,
come in,
yeah,
Giroud's gone
yeah,
because
yeah,
there's no
hundred
need to
percent.
keep him now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And to be fair, we know that Aguero knows where the back of the net is. Very similar to
Hundred
Giroud. Do you know what I
percent.
mean? He knows where it is. He wouldn't be playing week in, week out. He'd know that. Do you know what I mean? He would know that when he comes to the club. But
Mm-hmm.
if we're in like a Champions League moment now, imagine bringing on Sergio Aguero. You need a goal.
Yeah,
You
or
know,
even if Haaland's not fit, then you can bring on
you know, in it,
Aguero.
reliable. Makes sense, man. It makes sense. If that happens, I wouldn't be pissed off. That would just how it is, isn't
It
it?
is what it is. Do you know what I mean? I definitely wouldn't be pissed off. I mean, imagine now, but the rumor also is that Tammy Abraham's going. He's not signing a new contract. Now, me personally, my only sentiment to Tammy is that he's an academy player.
Mm.
Would I mind seeing him leave Chelsea Football Club? I wouldn't mind because do I think he's the striker that will get the 25, 30 goals a season or win us Champions Leagues. Nah, I don't think he is. But where I do think he'll fit in very well is a team like Aston Villa. I think they'll do very well to sign him. If they take him back there and they keep hold of Grealish, McGinn, and a couple of them players there, that's a dangerous looking team, bro.
It'll be
100%.
it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because I think wherever he goes next, if he goes, he's got to go somewhere and make a career for himself because he's never really done that
No,
when he
he
went on
will.
loan.
He will.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
definitely will. Listen, if Tammy goes to a club that where he can get football week in, week out, and the pressure's not there like a top four club, I promise you Tammy will be bagging goals.
yeah. Because
He'll
he done
be
it for
that
Villa. He done
yeah,
it for
he'll
Villa
be
on
that
loan. Innit?
striker. He'll be that striker that will get between 15 and 20 a season comfortably.
Nah, he needs to
Comfortably.
go, man. I
Yeah.
think he needs to go because he's not getting any kind of like he's not getting any help from the team like not playing. So in terms of when he was under Lampard, he was playing quite a bit, and then obviously Tuchel's obviously seen something that he doesn't really fancy in him. Do you get what I mean? We're
I
playing.
don't, and this is the thing, he's not a shit player.
No,
He
no,
ain't.
no, no. It's not.
You see the disappointing thing with Tammy Abraham, bro, and this is a General's cuss. How are you 6'4" and you can't header a ball, black? That's a General's cuss. 100%, bro. How have you been gifted with that height? Have you seen him header a ball, bro?
Yeah, it's like
Have
it's
you
mad,
seen
innit?
how many times Reece James has whipped in balls and he's actually said, you know what, fuck it, I'm not even gonna cross the ball no more, cuz.
No, no, no.
Yeah, I'm just gonna
No.
cut it back low and hard. I'm gonna cut it back into the because this guy ain't heading it in. When Ollie comes in, that's when I'm gonna whip the balls in.
Yeah, nah, I hear you, man. I hear you. He'd be good at like a Watford if they come back up next season, or a Norwich, one of them kind of clubs. He'll be good there, man. Because I think Villa got Watkins now, innit? Ollie
Yeah,
Watkins.
Ollie's on stuff though, but it's just
He's
that depth. But that's the level that he can compete with. You see what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah. I hear you. I hear you, man. I
Because,
hear
but
you.
that's no disrespect comparing Abraham and Watkins, because Watkins ain't a shit striker, bro.
Nah, he's good, man.
He ain't a shit striker. And do you know what I will say is that I won't be surprised if Watkins in about 3 or 4 years moves up to a better club.
Yeah, he will. He will.
Yeah,
100%. He will.
he's a decent striker, him. But I mean, going forward with Chelsea, man. Let's look at the remainder of the season now. Um, Smooth sailing in the Champions League, a kind of bit of a squeaky bum time in the Prem. Not gonna lie, because as much of a blip as a blip that West Brom result was, it kind of was a bit of a setback because it opened up the doors for everybody else. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna. I don't know what the points difference on the table is now, but I'm just gonna literally take a look, open up the Premier League app here,
Yeah, we're on
and
54 points. And
right,
I think
exactly, yeah, 50.
Liverpool are on 52, innit?
Right, so currently, yeah, Liverpool are on 50. Spurs are on 49. Liverpool 52. Chelsea 54. West Ham 55. Leicester 56. Now Leicester, that's an interesting one. Do you reckon they're gonna stay in the top four, bro?
Nah, they won't. They won't. You know why? Because you see the way that like they're relying on Iheanacho right now to back goals, not Vardy. Their main people that were getting the goals. I don't know how many goals Vardy's got this season, but I know James Madison's chipped in, Harvey Barnes has chipped in, obviously Iheanacho, but they're not doing it, and they bottled it last season. Let's not forget that as well. They did bottle it. I know they had the COVID thing and whatever, and the pause of the season, but they still
So did
bottled it.
everyone. Yeah, so did
Yeah,
everyone.
exactly. You know what I'm saying? So they bottled that. I think they'll drop out. I said earlier this week, I think Chelsea, Liverpool will make the top four. I think Leicester and West Ham will miss out. I think although West Ham are doing really well, I can't see us missing. You see the way we played against Palace,
Mhm.
and I know we've got some tough teams. I think we got Brighton on Tuesday after City in the Cup, but the way that we play football at the moment, teams aren't going to want to play us like that.
No,
The way
100%.
Do you know what I mean? And that's just me being real, like not even just as a Chelsea fan. They're not gonna want to play us at the moment.
No, 100%. That's like I said, some of that is the best football I've seen in the Prem this season, and that's
Mm,
out of every team
mm,
because the way that ball was being zipped around, the movement, the accuracy, and the thing is that there was end product. We was getting through every single time.
mm,
No team would want to face that. And I was looking at Crystal Palace. I'm like, boy, this is not even a case of them being that shit. It's
mm,
just like what do you do with quality like this? How do you defend against that? And they weren't expecting to come up with that against that, because I weren't. You
Yeah.
weren't expecting to see that, I'm pretty sure.
No. Exactly, man.
But
Exactly. And
but this is this is why, sorry, but this is why I say, like, whatever team that you put in front of us in the Prem right now, even Man City, I reckon will pattern them, 100%.
but that's the thing I was about to say. We still got to play. Obviously, we got the Fulham game. I think that's the 1st of May. Obviously, got Brighton Tuesday. Then I think after that is West Ham. Then we got Fulham, Man City at the Etihad. We've got the Arsenal game after that.
We'll beat City at the Etihad. We'll beat Arsenal as well. Do you
Then
know
we
the
got
games
Leicester,
do you see the games I'm worried about is the lower league teams.
and then we got Aston Villa last game of the season. So we out of them games, we should be picking up some points.
We should be winning all of them, but I'm telling
Mm.
you, where we will drop points is the lower league, the teams in the lower half of the table. I keep saying lower league, sorry. The teams in the lower half of the table, 100%. I reckon the complacency issue at Chelsea is what worries me. Do you know what I mean? Is because, and we have a history of that. Because look, even under Lampard, he was papering over the cracks with the doubles over Spurs, the wins over uh the Liverpool or Man Cities or whatever. He might get the
Yeah.
results there, but then nobody was talking about the back-to-back defeats that we had against relegated Bournemouth. See what I'm
I
saying?
remember you saying that. Yeah, man.
The 3-0 downs at against West Brom at home in the first half. Although we clawed that back and we got 3-3, it's still unacceptable. Now that is where I want to see how Tuchel handles that.
Yeah, and I said that after the West Brom game as well. That how he handles his first defeat will tell me what kind of manager we've got in place at the moment. And you gotta remember when we lost to West Brom, we had a big game coming up against Porto a couple of days later, and I wasn't very optimistic after that West Brom game. Do you get what I mean? But
Yeah.
I think that was just a blip. I wouldn't even. I think Tuchel's different to Lampard. If this was Lampard still in charge, there's no way we would have won them 2 legs against Porto. There's no way.
We wouldn't have
Even
gone through against Atletico.
yeah, it's a good point. It's a good point. But even against like Palace, we wouldn't have beat them the way we did. We wouldn't have done that. Do you know what I mean? We just never played that kind of football under Lampard. That intensity, that getting the ball forward and just stifling defenders. Do you know what I mean? Like the way we played on against Palace, even last night as well. We just stifled them. We got the ball. We stifled the box. We make sure that we pack out the box. That's how you gotta do things. And Lampard never really played like that. So yeah, I think we'll be calm, man. I think we'll definitely make top four. It'll be interesting on Saturday. I'm looking forward to Saturday because I think people feel like City. Obviously, they're talking about quadruple, this, that. I think we'll give them a game, man. I don't
No,
think it'll be
100.
easy. I don't think it'll be easy at all.
No, I don't think it will be, but I still think we're gonna get 3 points because
Mm,
I think we're at the business end of the season now, and Tuchel, from what I read, obviously don't know how true it is. After that West Brom game, he let them know that that was
mm,
unacceptable, and he let them know in a way that they'll never forget in some cases. Do you know what I mean? So if that's the case, this game coming up, right? I'm keeping a closer eye to this than I am in the next leg of the Champions League because again, this is more about the process of building for the long term. And I think where we really need to build is our complacency. And
mm,
if it's not a complacency issue, it's something else in that mentality that can't get the results against these teams when we need to get it. So
mm.
that's what we need. If Tuchel can crack that, then I think going forward we're gonna be winning trophies after trophies after trophies with this man.
Yeah, and
Definitely.
he's come out and said that. He's come out, I think uh Monday he come out and said that he doesn't just want to win games, he wants to win trophies at Chelsea. And that's the kind of talk that we need. Whether he means it or not, I don't give a shit. If he's saying that, if he's saying that to the players are believing it.
I think the question he was asked was, "Oh, obviously you've been brought into Chelsea to build for the future success," and his answer to them was like, "Well, I don't know what's going to happen in 2 or 3 years. I'm here to win trophies now. Do you
Mm,
know what I mean? Why wait till next year or 2 years when I can do it now? This is a
mm,
big club. We need to win trophies, and this is what I'm here to do." You see, when he said that, that's when I was like, "Yeah."
Yeah, and if you imagine if he's saying that to the players, and the players are sinking that in, and they're listening to it, and they're thinking, "Raw, like he actually." Do you know what I mean? Even from the first game, I said this before to you. Even from was it the Wolves game when we drew his
Yeah,
first game in charge? The difference in the way that we were playing football
it was
under
night and
Lampard,
day.
bro. It was like a different. It wasn't like watching Chelsea. Do you get what I mean? Like it was different. So he's come in. He's changed a lot. In fact, no, he hasn't changed a lot. He's just got the team playing that the way that they need to play. He hasn't changed a lot, to be fair.
No, he hasn't.
The foundations are still there.
Yeah,
He just knows how to build them up.
and this is the thing, is like he's playing two-touch football, bro. The basic things that like he's just telling them, let the ball do the work.
Mm,
Do you know what I mean? If you let the ball do the work, you're not greedy with the ball, things will flow. That's
mm,
it. And those are the kind of players that we have, fluid players. So he's just instilled fluid football in them. Lampard, you
100%,
could
man.
see it was hit long, bare time on the ball, bare touches on the ball. Sometimes it was just like you didn't know what the plan was. But
Mm.
every time when I watch Tuchel, I can see and identify what this guy's trying to do.
Yeah,
And
it'll be interesting.
you can see when something's not working with him, he has something else. Okay, cool. Switch up to this. Lampard didn't have that.
Bro, he's not scared to take players off at half time if they're not playing well, or he's not scared to change things tactically. Do you get what I'm saying? Like
Mm.
Lampard would bring out the same team for 20 games if he could. Do you get what I'm saying? Same formation, same tactics, same approach. All of that was the same. And that's why it was easy for teams to come and just beat us the way they were. Because
$100%.
he didn't have a plan B either. His plan B was not to bring on any subs. Do you know what I mean? Or bring them on in like the 80th minute.
No,
Like stupid
100%.
things like that. So it's a different time, man. I think it'd be interesting FA Cup semi final on Saturday. That's a big game.
Mm.
And then once we get because we're having a decent season. Like when you think about how our season's been this season, it's been a roller coaster, bro. Like 1 minute we had Lampard, we thought okay things are gonna be okay, and then we flip in at that mad dip just after Christmas or whenever that was, and then Tuchel's come in. We're still in the FA Cup. We're in the Champions League semi final, and we're looking now to get top four as well, and we might even win the Champions League or the FA Cup. Would you have taken that at the start of the season?
100%. I would have bit your hand off for that.
Mm,
100% I would have bit. But did I think it was going to happen? If you sat there and told me it was going to happen on the Lampard, I would have been like, this brother don't know football.
it's
Straight up.
true, man.
Anyone that would have said that to me, I would have been like, bro, you're either in dreamland and you're just over Frank Lampard everything, or you just don't know football. But bro, listen, we've got to keep this short because I know you got to be out by 3:30, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's coming up
You
to that
remembered.
time. Yeah, obviously, I'm always mindful of the time, bro. You know what I'm saying? But guys, listen, thank you very much for watching. Before you leave, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. You know what I mean? We're still trying to grow. You get me? So subscribe. T Dot, thank you very much for joining me. Hopefully, I can see you again next time on the channel. Do you know what I'm saying? I always like to have an interview and a chat with you. So don't be a stranger, man. Make sure you're back
100%,
on
man.
here soon. You get me?
100%, bro.
All right, then, man. So on that note, guys, be safe. T Dot, bro. Respect.
Yeah, love, bro.